Hello students, this is Md Aazif and I present with the video of a chapter from the book Moments and the name of the chapter is The Last Leaf, which has been written by O. Henry. So first of all, let's try to find out about the author O. Henry. Now, before starting to talk about O. Henry, let me tell you an interesting fact about him that O. Henry's original name was Potter. So Potter or O. Henry was born in Greensboro, which was in North Carolina, and later he moved to Texas in the year of 1882. It was there that he met his wife, Ethel Estes, with whom he had two children. In the year of 1902, after the death of his wife, Potter or O. Henry moved to New York, where he soon remarried. It was while he was in New York that Potter's most intensive writing period occurred, with Potter writing 381 short stories. Potter's works include The Gift of the Magi, The Duplicity of Hargraves, and The Ransom of Red Chief. His stories are known for the surprise endings and witty narration. Potter also wrote poetry and non-fiction. Potter's legacy includes the O. Henry Award, an annual prize awarded to outstanding short stories. Now let's start the summary of The Last Leaf. So The Last Leaf's summary starts with two girls, namely Sue and Johnsy, who lived together in a small flat, and they both were artists. They resided on the third floor of an old house. Once, Johnsy fell critically ill in the month of November, and it was an autumn season. She suffered from pneumonia and used to lie in her bed without moving. Johnsy continuously gazed out of the window. Her friend, whose name was Sue, became very worried about her. So she called the doctor. Although the doctor came every day, but still Johnsy's condition showed no improvement. The doctor confirmed that Johnsy was not willing to leave, so as a result, the medicines were ineffective to cure her ill health. Sue tried her greatest to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. Even Sue talked about fashions and clothes. However, Johnsy was irresponsive, and she continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into the room and began to paint. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whispering something. She speedily rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backward. She speedily rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backward. Looking out of the window, she was saying 12. However, after some time, Johnsy whispered 11, then 10, and so on. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite to the window. Also, the creeper was shedding its leaves in the strong wind. Johnsy was very depressed. She created a thought that she would die when the last leaf fell. Moreover, she did not accept the soup offered to her by Sui. Later, we have seen in the last leaf summary that Sui tried to show affection towards Johnsy. Sui told her that she would not die. She kept the curtain open as she needed the light to complete her painting. She desired to fetch money for them by selling it. Sui also pleaded Johnsy not to look out of the window. Also, Sui told Johnsy that she would not die. She has to leave for her friends. Moreover, Sui would become lonely without Johnsy. But Johnsy was sure that she would die as soon as the last leaf falls. She added that she would sleep after the last leaf falls and would sleep forever. On which Sui was very worried about her friend's condition, but she was helpless. Sui rushed to the ground floor to seek help from a 60-year-old painter, and his name was Bremen. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but unfortunately, it remained a dream only. Sui told the condition of her friend to Bremen. She refused to eat and continuously looked outside the window. She declares that she would not survive after the falling of the last leaf. He condemned Johnsy for being silly. However, he agrees to paint the last leaf for Johnsy so that she could recover. After that, Johnsy woke up the next morning. To her surprise, the last leaf survived the storm and it was clinging to the creeper. It survived another storm in the evening too. This incident opened Johnsy's eyes. She apologized to her friend for being so irresponsive and depressed. Even she realized that it was a sin to think of death. And then she combed, and then she had soup and a desire to leave. The next morning, the doctor arrived and he told about the improvement in her health. The doctor also added that she would recover soon as her desire to live was back. Sui went to see Bremen. He was only 2 days ill, but however, he dies of pneumonia contracted while being out in the wet and cold. Sui tells this news to Johnsy. She also tells her to look at the last leaf clinging to the creeper. Even she reveals the truth that it was the masterpiece of the old artist Bremen. So we have seen that the last leaf is a story of hope and willpower that works more than the medicine to light the lamp of the life of Johnsy. But it never means that medicine is not effective. As we know that hope sustains life, but both means hope and willpower keeps us continue living. These keep away despair and hopelessness. These are like the oil in a lamp which sustains the burning of the wick. And this holds truth in the case of Johnsy also, that Johnsy has lost the willpower to live by identifying herself with the falling of ivy leaves. But when she sees that the storm has not made the last leaf fall, Automatically, her willpower takes new strength and she starts living again with a new hope and criticizes herself for losing hopefulness. Thus, we can say that hope and willpower are the very important emotions which keep one living to the full.